Hi, Michele. So we've got more essays. Great. Let's take a look and see what you said today. Okay, the first one is about the age difference between parents and their children. Let's see what you said. Experts, here S, experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated the advantages or disadvantages of the increasing age among parents. Well, can't say there's an increasing age among parents and their offspring. You mean the age difference. So the increasing age difference between parents and their offspring. Between, because it's only two. We use among for three and more. All right? Okay. This essay will argue both sides using examples from the UK government and Oxford University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, but where is your opinion here? It asks really clearly, do the benefits of this outweigh the disadvantages? So you should say that, yes, there are more benefits. No, there are more disadvantages. So something. But you really should answer this in your introduction, okay? Whatever that question is. So on the one hand, there is ample evidence, let me see this, that the generation gap change is revolutionizing the concept of family compared to the past, with a positive impact on the education of the children. The central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, the parents have had substantial life experience, therefore, parents are a valid emotional support for their children. Okay, now this is the type of term that you're really going to need to explain. So you've given me some support, but you've kind of just left it hanging there because this is kind of like a loaded sort of comment. What does that mean, valid emotional support? I mean, I think that, and it's really just like defining some of these things that you're expressing. So what do you mean by valid emotional support? You could say that since they've had throughout their lives many successes and many failures, they can be patient, they can, transfer their wisdom and their experiences to their children to help guide them appropriately. So something like that, even just like an extra sentence. Okay, secondly, the divorce rate of middle-aged couples is drastically decreasing. Thus, this guarantees unity and prosperity to the family. For example, recent research by the UK government demonstrates that the number of divorces in couples under 30 years old is triple compared with the rest. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that a broader gap between parents and children outweighs for the family. Okay, that's not clear what you mean here. A broader gap between parents and children benefits the family, or something else, but outweigh doesn't work here. All right, moving on. On the other hand, although there is a case for the broader generation gap between children and parents, enriching the okay, there's something missing here. All right, let's try it again. On the other hand, there's something missing. It's like a clause, or there's some keywords that are missing in this sentence. Although there is a case for the broader generation gap between parents and children, the importance of young parents cannot be overstated. Something like that. But you have to show this contrast because you have although here. So you have to bring in this element of having a small age difference. Okay? This is mainly because, what does this mean? The youth family are increasing the birth rate with a benefit for the children and the community. Youth family doesn't make sense. I think you mean young parents. I'm not really sure. For example, an extensive study by Oxford University shows that over 80% of the couples under 30 years old have more than 2 children, compared with the 20% of the over 30-year-olds. It must not be forgotten that the vitality possessed, not owned, by young couples is considerably higher. As a result, of the possibility to focus also in their career with a positive effect for the financial situation and stable life for the children. All right, let's try that again because there's some grammar issues. Okay, as a result, they are able to focus on their career with a positive effect on the financial situation and stable life for the children. Okay, consequently, it is clear. Now, consequently, the benefit provided by young couples to the family are clear. The benefits are clear. Okay. From the arguments, plural, and examples, plural, given, I firmly believe that the advantages of a broad generation gap can create a stronger and wiser family without divorce. All factor, okay, divorce, comma, all factors that impact the children's life positively. Okay, so Michele, lots of grammar problems here. I mean, you had some good elements to this essay, some good ideas. There were a couple that you needed to support a little more fully, but it's really the grammar that needs some work, okay? So also, the other thing that I want to mention is that you finally told me at the end that you are in favor of a larger generation gap, which means that this paragraph, where you talk about the positives, has to go second, okay? So we always start off with the paragraph that we don't support so much, okay? In other words, we talk about the opposite side, and then closer to our conclusion is where we analyze the side that we do support, okay? All right, let's take a look now. Oh, why is this so tiny? Let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right, school subjects. Yes. The pie chart, plural, it's 2 pie charts, show the evolution of school subject preferences in 2014, 2017 in New South Wales. In 2014, it can be seen that there are 3 sectors that dominate around 3/4 of the graph, okay, with geography at 27.7, maths at 27.3, and slightly lower, what's 19.4? 19.4. My God, I can't see. I don't know what, physics. Okay, you forgot to write physics here. In more than 1/4, we can find biology at 13.4, dominating the section, followed by PE at 8.7, and in small fraction chemistry, and at the same percentage. Okay, fine. This is really a list, Michele. Yeah, I mean, it's a list, which doesn't really show any major analysis. I like that you talked about this 3/4. That was effective. But then what I wanted to see was some more comparison. So, for example, biology was the big one here. It was just changing your phrasing around a little bit. That's all I really wanted. To show more comparison. Like, for example, biology was 13.4, but at a little over half of that was PE. And then you could have said stuff like there was a negligible proportion for IT and history at X and Y. Okay, so just a little more vocabulary, a little more comparison here, because there's not a lot happening. And this just felt like a list, like you were just running down from like highest to lowest, and I wanted a little more finesse in your expression. All right, let's move on. In contrast, in 2017, the table is dominated by 5 choices and 2 small fractions that complete the pie, with IT at 1.4 and almost double with PE at 3.2, with the exclusion of chemistry. All right, that's a little awkward. First of all, I'm confused as to why you started off with IT and these, which are the smallest. I don't know. Especially, I'm not really sure. I think you're talking about the 2 small fractions. Okay, fine. But it's still, like, some of the phrasing is a little awkward here. The most significant fraction is owned by biology. Okay, why don't we say that a little differently? It just doesn't sound terribly natural. So why don't we say instead Biology accounts for the highest percentage at 24.1, which is almost double the 2014 figure. Okay, that would be a great way to express this. It's very task one-y, it's good grammar, and it's more accurate, okay? The second largest choice is physics with 21.2%, followed by geography at 18.7%, and history that peaked, P-E-A-K-E-D, at 19.4 compared with 1.2. All right, well, you can't really say peak because it's not like a line graph or a bar chart where you see change over time. I mean, it's just 2 years, so you're just comparing. You could have just said which expanded exponentially, which expanded dramatically. Something like that would have been better here. The last is geography with a drastic fall at 18.7. So again, it feels very listy. It feels like a list, okay? So you've talked about these things here, which again, I didn't really agree with your organization with the smallest parts first. And the rest of it, just like I said, felt like a list. So overall, the pie chart shows that the trend slightly moves towards the humanities, not matters, with history, but still the majority of the table is dominated by scientific topics. Okay, that's fine. You could have said a lot of things in your overview. But no, I'm glad that you mentioned history because that really was probably one of the biggest changes, if not the biggest. So good. Okay, so Michele, I hope you found that helpful. You obviously need to correct these now and add to your error correction list. Send us all of this back with new essays. So I'll let you get to that. Good luck with your next writing assignment. I'm looking forward to it.